Welcome to the Bat Cave, your secret hideout for Brawl gameplay and deck tech videos. I am your host, BlindBat8719. On today's video, I'm playing for you my Volo's Menagerie deck, led by Volo, Guide the Monsters. Before I do, a couple of announcements. One, just click the subscribe button down below, help me grow the channel, it's greatly appreciated. If you ended up liking today's deck list, please share it with your friends, spread the word about my ideas and whatnot, and kind of, again, if you like the deck, I think you should share it with your friends, help me grow a little bit more that way. I'm going to play a couple games for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section down below which one was your favorite game that I played for you guys today. Also, I'll be going back on my friend's podcast, The Cinematic Adventures, I'll be recording on August 6th. We're going to talk about the old Disney movie, The Rocketeer. This is, again, the podcast, The Cinematic Adventures, on the Misfit Faction Media Network. Also, August will be a little bit of a slow month for me. I'm going to take some time off just to relax for a little bit. So I just wanted to give my audience, I don't have enough yet to do a community post with the YouTube website, so I figured I'd give you guys a heads up in the video today. And with all the announcements out of the way, I can go on to the deck tech. So Volo, Guide to Monsters, costs 2 green-blue for a legendary creature, human wizard, 3/2 body. Whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a creature type with the creature you control or a creature card in your graveyard, copy that spell. A copy of a creature spell becomes a token. So the obvious way you want to build with a Volo deck is with as many different creature types as possible. It's a little bit different way of building blue-green, or at least I like the idea of it. I think it is an interesting way to be building it, and going straight into it right now. So right now, these piles here are the creatures that are in the deck, and I kind of subdivided them into what their function is. This pile here is all the RAM stuff, so Elysian Caryatid, Lotus Cobra, Maraleaf Pixie, Llanowar Visionary, Quandrix Cultivator, Solemn Simulacrum, and Beanstalk Giant. This can end up being, like any other blue-green deck, a mana-hungry deck. I don't always play Volo out on turn 4, because by that point I might have 6 mana. Maybe I don't have enough that's worth him and a 2-drop. But it means I can get to my big stuff later in the game, so I do want a lot of mana. So that worst case, if my big thing's already dealt with, I can play Volo and a medium-sized start to get 2 copies of. This pile here is how I interact with my opponent. Scavenging Ooze will work on the graveyard. He can also get bigger by putting +1/+1 counters on him. Brazen Bower to bounce something. I only get to bounce one thing with Brazen Bower with Volo's ability, but having 2 3/1 flyers in the air is still pretty nice. Thrashing Brontodon to deal with artifacts and enchantment, essentially. Getting 2 of those is pretty nice. Voracious Great Shark. Not that it's really going to happen that I'm going to get 2 counter spells per se, but being able to flash in 10 power worth of creatures is pretty awesome. Froghemoth is a new one from Dungeons & Dragons. It just seems like a fun card. He has haste, which I think is really awesome. Being able to have, ideally play Volo on 4, on 5, play this out and get 2 4/4 hasty creatures is awesome. There probably won't be enough cards in my opponent's graveyard to put a lot of counters on both of them, but still being able to, having 2 4/4 hasty creatures to attack is really awesome. Riddlemaster Sphinx is in here for the bounce effect, to have, a 6-cost, 5/5 flying creature, and 2 of those, 2 5/5 flyers that bounce a creature my opponent controls back to their hand is pretty sweet. And then Thorn Mammoth, again, having 2 creatures that can basically, this will actually deal, remove 3 creatures up to, because the copy will come in, will fight something, and then the second copy comes in, triggering the first creature to fight again, and the original, and then the one that just came in will also fight as well. So Thorn Mammoth plus Volo is kind of like a one-sided board wipe for 3 creatures. The card draw aspect I have, or the card advantage, Sea Dasher Octopus that I can mutate onto a creature. Cerberus Packmate is pretty cool, and it's something I can foretell early, and then when I can play out, maybe turn 6, play Volo and Packmate in the same turn to draw 2 cards and get 2 3/3s into play. Battle Mammoth, again, just a more card draw that they're going to try to target myself, at least get a card out of it. And then Wandering Archaic, that hopefully if I get 2 of him out, they won't be able to pay attacks. I'm going to at least get 1, if not 2 copies of the spell. And then these are just regular creatures for the most part that I just couldn't fit in the other piles as well. Yanti Malison, I like the idea of the rogue, and I wanted to give it a try. Venture's a new thing, so this is probably a flexible spot for another creature potentially if you want to play something different. Scoot Swarm, because double the swarm, double the fun, why not? Khazad-dû Mammoth just seems to be a good aggressive 3-drop, and he's something that's bigger that I could maybe on turn 7 play Volo and Khazad-dû, or it's just another creature that I think that's cheap enough that Volo survives. I can play him out as, have the Mammoth be aggressive creature. He can be a land drop as well. Stonecoil Serpent, Whatever I pick for the X, I'll get 2 copies of that, which I think is pretty sweet. Now, as a little thing to note before I go over the legendaries real quick, I do believe that with a Volo deck, it is okay to have multiple copies of the same creature type. I do have a couple 3s. I have 3 snake creature types and 3 elephants. There are a couple 2s because I don't always expect to have 2 of the same thing in one go at the same time. 2 of the same type in play, or 1 in play, 1 in the graveyard, and 1 in my hand. I don't think that's going to happen as often unless the game goes really long. Now, onto the legendary creatures. Volo does not play well with legendaries because they died to the legend rule for the most part, but Uro and Keruga have ETB effects, so it kind of mitigates the loss of the body. So with Volo out, I get 2 Uro triggers, so I get to draw 2 cards, put 2 lands into play, and gain 6 life. Pretty sweet. And then if I bring them back from the graveyard, I get to do the same thing, but keep a 6/6 in play. Keruga the Macrosage lets me draw for each thing that permanent with 3 commander mana cost 3 or greater, or mana value of 3 or greater. So even though I'm only going to get the 1 body, being able to draw twice with this is pretty sweet. And then Vorinclex, again, is just a hasty attacker. That's the real reason why he's in the deck. I also partly helped against sagas, because I would say that the Blue Saga about Cure Best of Sea God can be pretty annoying. It will shut down some Planeswalkers. So this is more for like anti-Planeswalker, anti-counter tech that the opponent might be having. And then Koma the Cosmos Serpent is just insane. Is a powerful game finisher. So that's why, even though we know it's legendary, I'm only going to get 1 copy. 1 copy is really all you need if you can survive. Now onto the part of the deck that has some interaction with the opponent. I'm running Heroic Intervention to protect my board because I do tend to go pretty wide. Ram Through is a little bit of fighting effect. Decisive Denial to either fight or to counter a non-creature spell. Blue and green don't really have a lot of board wipes. I'm looking at the Fight Mammoth as Thorn Mammoth as my board wipe, so Ugin's the other board wipe for the deck. Card advantage I'm calling this pile is you have Behold the Multiverse. I can foretell it and still draw 2 cards is great. Asika's Chariot in here because of the token copying tech, because as long as the Chariot attacks, if I have a copy of a Thorn Mammoth, a Sphinx, any of my non-legendary creatures, if I have a copy of that, a token copy of it in play, I can make another copy using Asika's Chariot, which I thought was pretty awesome. And then Seagate Restoration, land, worst case scenario, to come into play tap Island, otherwise I'm going to draw some more cards. Emergent Sequence for some ramp, gets me a little Fractal Creature as well, which is, again, I want to play with this card a little bit. I think 2 mana ramp is pretty good. It's no different than me playing out Lotus Cobra or any other 2-drop mana dork as well. I know it's a land, but it essentially is the same thing as any of those creatures. Arcane Signet for ramp, and then the Great Henge to do everything. Draw cards, gain life, ramp. For the mana base, we have, whoopsies, I went the wrong way there. We got these are the fixers right here for my 2 colors. Fabled Passage to fetch something out. 6 islands, 6 forests. Castle Ventures, these are the ability lands. Castle Ventures to scry a little bit. Castle Gathering to maybe ramp out something. Quandrix Campus, mana fixing and scrying, and Field of Ruin to blow up a land I don't want my opponents to have. And with the deck tech out of the way, let's jump into the arena for some brawls. So this hand I need to think about a little bit. I can do a little bit of ramping if I go with Kazanu Mammoth or Thornwood Falls into Immersion Sequence. I haven't really seen this hand before, so I'm gonna give this a little bit of a try. Playing against Rivin, Paladin, and Nadaar Selfless Paladin deck. Not a character or a commander I would necessarily pick for myself to use the Venture mechanic with. So I'm interested in seeing what my opponent came up with for a mono white deck. My initial guess would be it's aggressive, hence the Paladin class. Alright, drew an island. That is good. So let me start by saying hello to the opponent. And I will lead off now with a Thornwood Falls. Now that I have a regular 3rd land, I don't need to use the Kazadu Mammoth. I do have to remember now that the Paladin class, the first ability that instant speed shenanigans are not as good as everything as you just saw, goes up an extra cost. So they played out Earth of Meltus to get another land. Get an Emergent Sequence going, and I will go with another green source. So now at least have a 2/2 body going to play. They just guaranteed their 3rd land drop to play out Nadaar. Ooh, Cave of the Frost Dragon. I gotta remember that thing. Okay. So which one are they gonna go through? Dungeon? Oh, they're gonna start with the longest one. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Alright, alright. This would be... Oh, boy. Alright, so ideally what happens here is... Oh, this should be fine. I've been screwed over with mutate in the past, though. That's the only thing I'm a little nervous about right now. So let me think. If I were to mutate this, this should work. Alright, so let me swing in and see what happens. Still acceptable. Blue, blue. Going to mutate onto the forest. Now, if I were to put it over... Yeah, it should be. This should make it a 4/4. Okay, so they still have this glitch. Or somebody please explain to me why this is the case. My understanding is that the counters should be added to the octopus, so he should be a 4/4. Unless this again, if this is a glitch, it's been going on since Ikoria came out. When I would mutate a Luna onto lands with Nissa's ability, so. This should have been a 4/4 and killed everything. So that's annoying. But we'll soldier on. Alright, so at this point now this becomes basically just a 2/2 that will tap for land mana right now at this point. Playing on Volo doesn't make much sense because this is a fight effect, right? Yeah, it's a fight effect. And this stopped being a... Oh, it doesn't even act as a land anymore? Wow. Alright, so, side note, never mutate onto a fractal creature. Clearly, it just does not work as well. I'm going to go with the ramp plan, get out of Solemn Simulacrum here. Get another green source going. So ideally, I should have had 6 mana at this point. No point in attacking now. I do expect him probably to pump at this point. Worthy Knight. So what does this one do? Whenever you cast a Knight spell, create a 1/1. Okay. I kind of like that. Oh, Dragon Knight. So this might be a Knight-themed deck. That is cool. I like that. Where is he at in the dungeon? So we get the treasure token, or target creature can't attack. Goes for the treasure token. Good call. If I double block here, he is going to use a trick, or he's going to go further down the dungeon to scry 2. I think I'm fine with that. Because that means he probably... This costs 3, so he'd be using it this whole turn. Protection from green. Okay. Made him burn a spell. Alright, so next turn... Dancing Sword. And I think that's 1 to equip. That is 1 to equip, so he could spend it now. Shadow Sphere. Alright, get the equipment going. Uro. It's hoping to draw more land. I could use Khazad-dû Mammoth. I have a 3/3 that he's going to pump up. I could just do... If I do 3/3 with pump, it's not good enough because of the double green I can't fight in response. I could, however, put full control mode on. Cast Uro. This way now, with the abilities on the stack, I can draw a card. Koma's a good one to play towards. I can use Decisive Denial. He gets to fight... Wait, cancel. Target creature... Target a creature you control. Submit... Oh, okay, submit 1. Submit 1. Auto pay. Alright, I can take full control off now. And at this point, it looks like Koma's going to be a good strategy to go towards. No attacks. I was thinking that maybe he'll trade the Worthy Knight, but I realized he was just blocked with the 0/4. And if I want Solemn to die... Okay, that's kind of neat. Good synergies there. If I want Solemn to die, I might as well just have it block and prevent a little bit of damage. Alright, scry 2 to the top, so he likes what he has. Nothing. Alright. Well, this lets me go a little wide then. My graveyard is only 5, so I need another thing to go to the graveyard for that to work. I could actually use Field of Ruin to blow up the cave. That would give me the 6th thing, and I could then play out Uro. And I'm liking that idea. So I do blue, green, blue and green. I blow this up. I then have to get a blue source. Blue, green, blue, green. It doesn't really matter. I can get anything. Blow up the Frost Dragon. So I get whatever at this point. So we'll just get a green. That brings back Uro. So now I have the 6/6 in play. I get to put the Quandrix in for free right now. Didn't really matter. No attacks. So now if they were to pump up Nadaar, that makes him a 5/4, a 6/5. Plate armor. Alright, so they're going to go really hard on equipping Nadaar. 6/6. 8/7. And he has Vigilance. Where are we at with the dungeon? Exile the top 2 cards. You may play them. Ah, the Life's Bounty. Alright, so I am actually fine trading off here. Because I'll get to draw a card out of this exchange. He spent all his turn pumping everything up. Gonna draw a card here. I mean, I did consider not blocking so I can get out the Great Henge. But I think this is all fine right now. So now's the time to play Volo. I'll play out Llanowar Visionary. I'll get 2 of these, so I get to draw 2 more cards. Oh, he turned the Dancing Sword into a creature. That's kind of cool. Play out the land. And the turn there. So I have the high-end stuff right now. I could use Koma. I can use Ugin. At this point, I'm getting tired of Ugin. So, but it would be something that would ultimately swing everything in my favor. I probably could even just do it for... Actually, if I were to do Ugin... As long as I stay... I could probably do Ugin for 2. Yeah, I'd probably just do Ugin for 2, and that would probably win me the game for the most part, I'd say. 3/3, 3/2/2. Short pass. No blocks. So, the safe play here would probably be to use Ugin for 2. I still think it's winnable without it, though, and I feel like you guys came here to see me go nuts with a couple of creatures, just casting creatures over and over again. How am I doing in my library, though? I have 35 in the library. Let's go with Garenbrig. Let's see what we get here. So it gives me 6. We get 2 more avatars going. I can use 5. Sure, let's get the Great Henge going then. It's going to leave me with 4 mana. So let's get another Saruf's Packmate going. Alright. So I gain a little bit of life. No attacks. And I would say... Alright, so now I realize after doing all that and doing all the fun stuff that the deck wants to do, opponent can always pump this up one more time. Swing with everything. Dancing Knight gets really insanely big, and then I gotta worry about double strike damage. So I will see how that plays out. Okay, 6/5. Lifelink. Alright, 7/6 lifelink. That is not great. And Ward is another thing. Start out by playing the island. I could go with Froghemoth. You know, something. I think I gotta put him into this a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. I think now's the time to do the Ugin. -2. And then go with the Froghemoth here. A little more hasty action. Oh, before the mana goes away then, let's go with the Scavenging Ooze as well. And then just swing out. Still not enough to kill him, though. Submit 2. Submit 1 for the other one. So they both get a little bit of trophy love. Wait, what? Oh, creature card. I gotta pay attention to that next time. Alrighty, Rivin, thank you very much for the game. Sorry about the Ugin thing, but it was the right play at that point. Again, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, so this one might be a little bit of a risk, but I want to give this, I want to try. I feel like with the turn 2 play here, I have land here and land hitting here. Possibly can use a Sea Dasher to mutate onto Yuan-Ti. So I'm playing against Berglion, piloting their own Volo Guide the Monster deck. So this will be a little bit of a mirror match. But this one seems like a fun one right now. I'm going to start by saying hello to the opponent and lead off with the Quandrix Campus. Opponent led off with a Thornwood Falls, Island, and let's go with a Yuan-Ti Malison. Lotus Cobra. Field of Ruin. So I can't actually use Kazandu right now, which is slightly annoying. I think the best bet here would be to swing. I'm going to swing and mutate. I think that's a good idea. I like that play a bit. And then maybe play out the Kazandu as a land. Swing for 2. Mutate. Take the over for a little bit extra point of toughness. So I don't expect to venture a lot, so I'll go with the Lost Mines of Pandelver here. Ugin is not something I want right now. And a Voracious Great Shark's pretty good. They didn't draw any green sources, so I would say let's get the Mammoth in play as a land then. It's kind of why he's in here. I'm running 23 lands, so sometimes that's his role. Instead of being a beater, it's being that. He gets the Volo first. So I'm going to swing and draw. Probably get held off on playing the land first. Treasure token seems like a good idea with this deck, actually. So let's create the treasure token. Things are looking pretty cool right now. So I'm going to go in terms of what I have in play, potentially. So I think I'm going to see the Volo. See if this one survives. Entirely possible I should have held off a turn. So that, and just maybe kept up Voracious Great Shark. The only reason I didn't do that was because of the copies that would be in play. From the Volo, I'd only get rid of 1. Scute Swarm. Had to be a Scute Swarm. Arcane Signet. So I think they misplayed that a little bit because they should have done that. They had a landfall trigger they missed on. Alright, Field of Ruin. So now the concern I have to worry about is my opponent going to do a big spell where they play a big ramp spell and get a lot of Scute Swarms in the play. Start by swinging in with the Octopus because that's what I want to do with this deck right now. Venture a little further. Target -4/-0. I think the life gain works better. Might be the life gain works a little bit better. But I think what happens is I'm not going to block with my guy, so I'll just rather get the Volo out of the way. So if I think they're going to do a big push for lands, what do I want? Something bigger then. I want more things that are bigger, and maybe something that will not use up all my mana. I could just use this on 4. Yeah, I'm going to do Stone Coil on 4. Right? That makes sense. I use the Stone Coil on 4. How much do I think? It really just comes down, do I think my opponent has a big ramp spell that they're going to try and do to go wide with me? I'm going to say throw caution to the wind here. And just go for bigger bodies. Thank you. Because while they could, you know, this means they'll delay the Scoot Swarm a little bit more, and it means that also they'll need more of them to kill my Battle Mammoth. I just have to remember that if I don't want to attack with the Octopus, if I attack with my Battle Mammoths, be careful with the Octopus. So they played the land. Riddlemaster Sphinx. Dang it. Alright, that's what I should have. So I maybe should have held back. I do get to draw a few more cards at least. Yes, I'd like to draw a card. Draw another card. Well, that's annoying. Yeah, he's going back into my hand. Play that, show the forest. So I should have gone with my gut and held on to the creature. That would have been nicer. Oh. Yeah, and I totally left the Heroic Intervention for just that reason. I'm sorry, guys, I didn't play it. Fighting doesn't seem to be any good for me either right now. Other than if I were to fight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to discard a card? Oh, that's not good. I want to play more stuff then at that point. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Play out Volo. That leaves me with 2 mana left. I still need to discard down? Oh, well. No attacks. End the turn. Alright, now things are getting a little dicey, and I'm really annoyed that I forgot. The whole point of me keeping up the 2 mana was for the Heroic Intervention for exactly a play like that. Now it's their turn to play a Battle Mammoth. Alright, yep, that's fine. They have the Lotus Cobra in play, that's why there's only the one. Swing in. Lorehold Quaddle is a nice one. I like that one a bit. Alright, I'm just going to pass and not do anything at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have Garen Brick, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could do 7, and that should kind of hopefully keep me going for a little bit. 5, 6, 7. Gets me 2 of those things. Where am I in the dungeon? Is the dungeon worth venturing into? I get to draw another card. I'll have 4 blockers. I'm going to swing with the Octopus so I can get to draw 2 cards here. Worst case, I discard a land. A Pixie and a Fabled Passage. I already played my land. End the turn. I'll discard actually the Pixie. Pixie's another air blocker. Fabled Passage. Land doesn't really matter. And actually, I'm at a point now where I probably could use the Seagate Restoration to just draw about everything and still be safe for the most part. So that will be something that I might be considering next turn, as I do have a little bit of, hopefully, some time to buy Thorn Mammoth. Sure. He already has these in play. So let me resolve. I'll take the card. He's fighting that. Huh. That is not what I was expecting. Do I want to lose my C-Octopus? This is a good point, because I have the Brazen Borrower now. Thinking. If I remove the Thorn Mammoth, nothing bad happens there. I think I'm going to let that resolve. Alright, those things are starting to get slightly annoying. take the action to draw a card. Oh, whoa, wait. I didn't click. I clicked resolve all? Oh, no. I thought I clicked resolve. Oh, I think I saw the Scoots Swarm logos. That's annoying. Well, at least they'll believe me when I say I just drew the Heroic Intervention at this point. Clearly now, if I had instead bounced the Thorn Mammoth, I would have avoided all of those problems. Ugh. Well, this has to block here. Those got to block here. This blocks here. This might be a good game. Oh, man. Good game. I'm sorry, guys, that I misclicked a few things there. Oh, man. Alright, Berglion, thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, this hand seems like okay starting out. Playing against Cards Are Hard, piloting a Velomachus Lorehold deck. These decks very much want to ramp out the Velomachus and have a lot of spells in them. Brazen Bar would be great to stop the trigger, so I'm going to keep this one for right now. Play out a Thrashing Bronthon to blow up something if I need to, or bait out a removal spell. Start off by saying hello to the opponent, then playing out a Thornwood Falls. Opponent played out a Command Tower, followed up by a Snow-Covered Mountain. No extra play. I go with the Forest here, and I would just foretell here my Battle Mammoth. Turn 3 with the extra mana that I have. Thrill a possibility. That's a good one. Now, what do they discard? They discard a Radiant Scroll Wielder. That's kind of cool. Gotta keep that in mind for some cards. Alright, a Replicating Ring. So going here with the Earl play to get the 4 going. Put an island into play just to make them think I'm running unsummoned. So, opponent's got 4, 5 mana potentially. This turn depends on how he ramps. If he plays Command Arcane Signet into another 3-drop, Psalm Simulacrum 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They'll have the 7th next turn. So that means I got to keep up a Brazen Borrower. So I have 5 mana to work with here. I could just blow up the ring to buy me some more time. I could play out a Pixie. If I play out the Pixie, that gives me 2 left over. That means next turn I'll have 4, 5 out of the 4, plus 1, 2, 3 left over to play out another creature with Volo. Okay, so I'm going to go with the Pixie play here. Kind of maybe a little more obvious that I have a counter spell, which makes, if he refuses to play Velomachus, then that I have to win for me. Alright, there's 7. Brazen Borrower bounce. So, unfortunately, by not killing it, my opponent gets the opportunity to still play him for 7. Alright, so the Snarl caused a little bit of a hiccup. So 4 here. Yeah, I think I gotta play out the backside here and pay the 3 life for it. So my play that I'm... Whoops, no, do not attack, do not attack. The play in my head right now, actually... Now, again, maybe alternatively I could have been playing Thrashing Brontodon to blow up the Replicating Ring, but I just felt like the odds of my opponent drawing or having the next land, I think, would be relatively good. Instead, I'm going to try to... if he goes with Velomachus again, doesn't get a land, I'm going to wait for him to attack, see what he flips into. And depending on how bad things look, I could just flash in a Brazen Borrower to then get 2 copies of that. And then... Alright, Velomachus. Okay, on point. Pass 2 attacks. Alright, what we get? Now, if he goes to kill Volo, I play out Brazen Borrower, and then I can double block and kill Velomachus. Oh, that's not too bad. Alright, so that resolves. Storm Unleash is a nice one for this. Yeah, so Brazen Borrower, I already have an Elf in play. Whoops on my part. Or, sorry, a Fairy in play. And nothing. Alright, so Ram through. Ram through works. So we get 2 elephants. Opponent's tapped out. Now's the time to use the ram through. Battle Mammoth versus Velomachus. Just play out the Snarl. No attacks. This should buy me time to use Voracious Great Shark at least against the next coming of Velomachus. Alright. No blocks. I'll take the 4. Reason being that the Voracious Great Shark I think will be better, and having the mana for both Great Shark and Brontodon will be pretty good. Dang, Storm's Wrath. So probably a good... Oh, could have blocked. Yeah, take the action. Magic Missile. Alright, yeah. I'll take all the cards. Take the action. Take the action. And then that does not... Still short of that. Alright. So now, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is 1 away from getting out. So 5. I have 3 mana I can play with here. I think then I just play the Flash route then? Playing out Thrashing Brontodon. I think I'm just going to play the Flash game here. Just pass the turn. Worst case is I flash out the Octopus or I use Behold the Multiverse. Now, that was the land drop. Fury Emancipation? Ow, that one's good. Alright, no, I'm fine here. Let me double check. Not too many counter spells in the deck. I don't think I need the land. I'm trying to find the counter spell. I have a land in hand. Alright, that resolves. I love that animation. And then the Perforos showed up. That's pretty cool. So triple damage. Pass. Alright, play out the Octopus. Do I gain life? Each creature exiled this way, so I gain a little bit of life. Only 1 creature in the graveyard, though. Alright, Dragon's Fire. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alrighty. Brontodon. Just going to pass. So the reason why I'm not blowing it up right away is that if he tries to shoot it with something that says 3 power damage to it or whatnot, I can, in response... I at least want to bait out a removal spell. That's, I think, the short version of this. Now, the other possibility, looking at the Great Henge, I want to get that online. Now, if I were to pay out 6, so that's 4, 5, 6. Alright, so next turn, if Thrashing Brontodon sticks around, I can play Great Henge out for 5 or for 6 mana, and still keep up Voracious Great Shark. Don't need to worry about it. I mean, unfortunately, that's what you got to do with the Velomachus. You got to, you know, against blue deck. Does he have it? Pass. My turn. Henge. Vorinclex. All attack. Down to 8. Play out the land. Pass the turn. Alright, 1 land away. Make me use it, and that's exactly what I wanted. Cards are hard. Thank you very much for the game. Let's go on to the next one. Alrighty, and that is the video for today. Played 10 games with the deck. Ended up getting 6 wins and 4 losses. The deck is fun. Volo is a fun green-blue commander to play with. I do feel like, though, while on paper, literally, he looks like a commander that makes blue-green do something different. Ultimately, it doesn't really. You still want to ramp out to your biggest creatures. You want to have a lot of mana. So, unfortunately, I feel like he's just more of the same of what blue-green has been doing lately. With basically, again, draw cards, play a lot of, get value, ramp, play big creatures. So I don't think if you're looking for something different, it's still more of the same. It does feel cool to be able to get multiple copies of creatures, and I think probably with the diversity of a larger format, either 100 card Brawl or EDH, might be slightly more interesting. You'd probably get closer to the ideal of no duplicate creature types. But yeah, anything that the Thorn Mammoth. I'm running 23 lands, so I was disappointed I didn't make this a land, but maybe that's something that could be cut. I do think it's a good card for the deck, but it's up to your interpretation what you want to play with in the deck. Let me know how you would build a deck in the comment section down below. I'd greatly hear some input from you guys. While you're down in the comment section, let me know what your favorite game was that I played. I want to kind of hear that feedback too, so I want to see what you guys think is my best game versus what I think my best game was. I'd be kind of interested in seeing some of that information. If you liked today's video, hit the thumbs up icon down below. If you really like what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button down below. Help me grow the channel. As always, thank you for visiting the Bat Cave, and have a great day.